After a thrilling 5-2 victory yesterday against Shepherd, UNC Pembroke is back in action here at Cox Fields, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us here from Cox Field. John Gross once again joined by former UNCP pitcher Dale Masterson. We'll deliver you what should be another really exciting game. Dale, we saw a great game yesterday. A Bobby Dixon 3-run blast kind of lifted UNCP to victory, but the pitching is what got him in a position to win.
Yeah, started out great with Randy Floyd putting up 3 zeros, just setting the staff off to a really good start. Handing the ball off to Bucky, then to Land, and then to finish off River Ryan. Just an excellent job all day, all the way around the horn.
And then you look forward to today's matchup, and it'll start on the mound for UNC Pembroke with a transfer, Jalen Scott, coming in from Winston-Salem State, as we take a look at some of his numbers. But first, we'll take a quick break for the national anthem here. We'll be back in a second.
On the campus of the University of North Carolina at Pembroke for Game 2 of this weekend series between
Back here at Cox Field, John Gross alongside Dale Masterson. And, well, we talked about yesterday's pitching. Let's look forward to today's pitching. Jalen Scott gets the start for the Braves, the transfer coming in from Winston-Salem State. And you take a look at some of those numbers from last season, and Paul O'Neill and this coaching staff very excited to have him in this Braves program.
Excited to see him pitch. I haven't seen him throw quite yet. Put up some great numbers. It's always an interesting dynamic coming into a new school from a previous four-year program. Apologize. You're really excited to just show you guys what you can do out in the field. You practice with them all fall. You're excited. You build these relationships, and you can't wait to get on the mound and show them what you got.
Are there ever any drastic differences in any pitching philosophies from school to school that might change how you approach things?
Yeah, some programs will have pitching programs like Drive Line or Jaeger Sports. Every pitching coach does things a little bit differently. But overall, whatever works for you is ultimately what's going to have to get done. As long as you can compete on the mound and get it done, then you do what you please.
So Jalen Scott getting the start for the Braves, his UNCP debut. The rest of the starting lineup looks like this. In right field, coming off of a big day, both offensively and defensively, is Trevor Clemens. And he leads things off in center field, batting second, Ethan Buckham. Third, in left field, Gage Hammonds. In the DH spot, batting cleanup, Bobby Dixon. Fifth, Connor Granger. Batting sixth, that's shortstop, Jarrett Mobley. River Ryan hits seventh. Wellington Guzman, eighth. And Garrett Littleton catching and batting ninth. So the only difference is behind home plate at that 9 spot. Alex Simpson out today, and Garrett Littleton is in. Again, it's Jalen Scott on the mound. This Braves lineup will face really the ace of the Shepherd squad, Mitchell Wilson. Had an 8-2 record last season. His ERA just south of 5 runs per game, but he can go the distance. Good stamina on the mound. 5 complete games last year. Honorable mention, all-conference selection as well. The rest of the Shepherd lineup, and left field leading things off once again, Dalton Stewart batting second. In center, Jared Carr. Joey Schwartz hits third at first base. Joey Goldsmith fourth at third. Batting in the 5 spot, Zach Doss with the catching duties. DHing today, Joe Burak batting 6. Easy Goida hits 7th at second base. Shortstop Trenton Bergreen in the 8th spot. And Brennan Holmes, batting 9th, gets the start out in right. So, get a look here at Jalen Scott on the mound, who, again, put up some really impressive numbers at Winston-Salem State. 2 seasons with the Rams of Winston-Salem State, the native of Mocksville, North Carolina, a redshirt junior at 6'3", 215 pounds. And bring up his numbers here. I think the biggest thing, at least to me, that stands out, that strikeout to walk ratio is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I don't think I got 72 in 2 years at Pembroke. So very impressive indeed.
And he'll face a Shepherd lineup that, well, last year this was a Shepherd team that was top 10 offensively in scoring, but was only able to muster up 3 hits. They did take a lead about middle of the game, went up 2-1, but it was a comeback by the Braves, most notably a Bobby Dixon 3-run home run to left center field that got them to victory. These two teams opening up the season against each other this year. They played each other to open up the season last year. The Braves came away with the sweep, and UNCP looking to keep things rolling in game 2 of 3. This is another game that was impacted by the weather. It was raining for, what, about 10 or so straight hours yesterday?
At least 10 hours. Pretty good, too.
It was a heavy rain. I mean, we were kind of taking a look outside pretty late at night, and it was still coming down. So this game was supposed to start at 1 p.m., pushed back to 2. Again, tomorrow's game is also scheduled for a 1 p.m. first pitch, barring any inclement weather, which fortunately doesn't seem to be anything too crazy in the forecast. And checking the weather forecast for this upcoming week, it seems like it's going to be pretty nice in terms of temperature. Some rain maybe midweek, but luckily things will be warming up a bit here in Pembroke.
Looking off for Shepherd, left fielder, number 10, Dalton Stewart.
So we will get things started. Dalton Stewart will tee things off once again as Jalen Scott, first pitch of his UNC Pembroke career, is dribbled foul. And we are underway here. Game 2 of 3 between UNC Pembroke and Shepherd. Yesterday, a 5-2 victory for the Braves. And Scott misses that away 1-1. I think some early jitters out there for his debut here at UNCP.
I think he's got enough numbers to be calm and collected out there. Ooh, that was a good pitch. Sometimes you throw that pitch as a pitcher and you're just thinking, you know, man, why didn't you swing at that?
There's the 2-1. And that's in there, evens up the count 2-2. Scott looking to send down the first batter he's facing here as a Brave. The 2-2 offering to Dalton Stewart is hit well and deep to center field, sending back Bonkum to the wall, and that's gone. A leadoff solo homer for Dalton Stewart. And just like that, Shepherd, one batter into the game, leads 1-0.
Up next for the Rams, the center fielder, number 6, Jared Carr.
Brings up Jared Carr. Well, he couldn't have asked for a much better way to start this game if you're a Rams fan.
If you're a Rams fan, that's right. I don't want to be in Jalen's spot right now, but I'm sure I'll find a way to work through it.
Again, this was a Shepherd team that yesterday put up just 2 runs on 3 hits. Benefited from some walks, some pass balls, but really couldn't get much going offensively.
Looks like the Rams are trying to jump out ahead a little bit, get aggressive in the count early rather than risk falling behind later in the count.
Again, another swing at that one, and Scott works ahead 0-2. Carr yesterday was 1 for 4. Stewart, who led the game off, 0 for 3. That's one of the great things about baseball. You can have a poor performance one day, next day, you're right back at it. Here's the 0-2 from Jalen Scott. Lifted into left field. Hammonds giving chase into foul territory, and he couldn't quite get there. That home run, too, pretty much the deepest part of this ballpark, one of the deepest parts.
Yeah, it's about as deep as it gets there.
It's about 400 to center.
Not something you usually see from the leadoff hitter.
No. 0-2 from Scott. Again, pop back.
Jalen's still ahead, 2 strikes here. Hopefully he won't give him anything too good.
Puts it right in there, and that's strike 3. Well, maybe Carr was expecting kind of what you said, maybe something out of the zone there.
Joey Schwartz.
So 1 away for Joey Schwartz. First pitch, grounded to Guzman at third, and that's foul. Guzman, who yesterday made a phenomenal stab at third base in the last inning.
Last play of the game.
Another Winston-Salem State guy. So a couple of former Rams playing against the Shepherd Rams. And the 0-1 just misses to Schwartz, who was 0 for 3 yesterday. A lot of swings. Like you said, they're really attacking early offensively. Scott working ahead. He's gotten at least 2 strikes in all 3 batters that he's faced so far. There's the 1-2. And back-to-back strikeouts after surrendering a leadoff home run.
Third baseman, number 5, Joey Goldsmith.
Brings up Joey Goldsmith. I guess that's kind of the response you look for out of a pitcher after surrendering a home run like that. And another strike for Scott.
You got to give Jalen credit here. He's going right back into the zone even after letting a leadoff home run. Those solo shots really don't hurt you in this league. It's when you start getting people on base, but I'm really happy to see him get back in the zone here.
And again, fanning on it is Goldsmith.
Some guys will let up a bomb like that and just start nipping at the zone. They don't want it to happen again, but Jalen's going right at him here. It's good.
Looking to strike out 3 straight after surrendering a leadoff home run. The 0-2 from Scott. And he went around. 3 straight strikeouts for Scott. But Shepherd does take a 1-0 lead. A solo blast by Dalton Stewart. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left on base. Headed to the bottom of the first here at Cox Field. This is Braves Baseball on the UNCP Sports Network.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care. That's
Back here at Cox Fields, Braves trail 1-0. They'll get their first crack at things, facing really the ace of the Shepherd staff. And you look at the numbers for Mitchell Wilson from last season, impressive stuff for the righty. 8-2 record last season, ERA just under 5 runs per game. He can give the Rams good length as a starter, 5 complete games last year. And he was rewarded at the end of the season, named honorable mention all conference.
Yeah, that 5 complete game stat, that's no piece of cake. Especially in today's game when you're watching big leaguers go 5-6 innings and you see them roll out a lot of relief specialty guys to finish the job off. 5 complete games in this league is no easy feat.
So Trevor Clemens will get things started. Had a big offensive day yesterday. 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, had a double, walked as well. So reached base in 3 of his 5 at-bats. And he gets ahead 2-0. Ball 3, just missing. Well, you talk about complete games. I have a little story here, some baseball history for you in a couple of minutes.
Let's hear it.
And there's a strike, 3-1 count to Clemens.
I wouldn't be surprised if he takes again here.
Pitch from Wilson outside, and Trevor Clemens, who you talked about it throughout yesterday's broadcast. Great eye, good discipline in the batter's box. Leads things off with a walk.
I can tell you right now he'll be in top 3 with on-base percentage at the end of the year, barring any unfortunate injuries.
Center fielder, 17, Ethan.
Brings up Ethan Baucom. Slided up to the 2 spot this year. Really the top 5 or so hitters in this lineup. Just such a dangerous lineup for UNCP. And it was kind of created by the move of Trevor Clemens to the outfield. Paul O'Neill able to keep both Clemens and Bobby Dixon in the batting order. And Baucom first pitch, dribbler into left.
It's a good way to start it off. I'm wondering if the coaches told everyone to get out ahead today, or if everyone's just a little more anxious to get on base today.
And now we're seeing that after it was a pretty slow start yesterday. No one scored in the first 4 innings.
No. Pitchers duel.
So first and second for Gage Hammonds. Well, teams 1 hit apiece. Hammonds, another guy, first year in the program, junior college transfer. Went 1 for 3 yesterday. Also scored a run. Pulled back in the bunt, takes a strike.
Third baseman still hanging out by the base path. We'll see. We'll see if Coach Jefferson signals him the bunt here.
The big bat of Bobby Dixon swinging the on-deck circle. Had what ended up being the game-winning 3-run home run to lift the Braves. 5-2 win yesterday. Hammonds.
That's a nice piece.
Lifts it deep to center. Both players will look to tag. Hauled in by Carr. Buckham will stay put at first base. Braves 90 feet away from leveling things.
It's a great job by Hammond getting that sac fly out there just deep enough to move Trevor in the scoring position.
So first and third for Bobby Dixon.
They say baseball is a short memory game. Whether you're the best player or the worst player the day before, you got to wipe it. Much easier said than done. I hope Bobby still has a good attitude. I hope he's not too high, not too low.
Clemens on third. He led things off with the walk. Buckham on first. Singled to left. It's his first hit of the year after going 0 for 2 yesterday, but he was also intentionally walked.
Pembroke's going to try to get Buckham to second to eliminate that double play possibility as soon as possible.
It was 9 of 11 on stolen base attempts last season, so he can move in the base paths. Pitch just missing with one away here in the bottom of the first. One ball, one strike, one out, and a one-run lead for Shepherd.
Wonder if we won't see a little third to first move here.
There goes Buckham. Hit and run is on. And no double play, so the Braves will score. That's pretty much exactly how you'd script that out.
Sac fly moving to third. Hit and run, score one. That's all you need. Just tack it on.
And you move Buckham over into scoring position as well. So Hunter Granger will look to drive him home. By the way, okay, back to this baseball history. We talked about 5 complete games last season. Old Hoss Radburn, you ever hear of him?
No, I
Okay,
haven't.
he's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. In 1884 with the Providence Grays, pitched 73 complete games.
You know, I'd be complaining to coach about pitching maybe 5 or 6 innings as a relief pitcher. 73, you said?
Yes, and guess what his record was that season?
73 games. I'll say 60 and 13.
60 and 12. Wow, very impressive, Dale. A 1.38 ERA.
Wow.
And 441 strikeouts.
That's unheard of.
Buckham inches off at second. The 0-1 misses inside. Yeah, imagine how his arm must have felt after that season.
I don't know how he does it. In 73 games, you know he was good, but I'm curious to see how he did the next year. Maybe he turned out lefty. Who knows?
We'll have to get our researchers to take a look at that one. Count moves to 2-1. Two one, 2 outs. Buckham on second. And Granger takes inside. So, okay, here we go. 1885. He pitched 445.2 innings, went 28 and 21. But then his team folded the next season. So that was it.
It's live and die by, what was his name?
Old Hoss Radburn.
Old Hoss. Wow.
And Granger works a walk. First and second for the Braves. Good mix of taking pitches and putting balls in play in this inning. First and second for Jared Mobley. Oh, for 4 yesterday. Looking to turn things around today. First pitch, lifted into foul territory, and is tracked out. Well, that will end the first inning. The Braves on the board. We are tied at 1. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 runners left at base. Headed to the top of the second here on UNCP Sports Network.
UNCP 1.
It's officially the holidays, and you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer. So drop a big bow box on your pigskin powwow, because whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, nothing helps swallow tears of defeat like swallowing a bunch of fried chicken first. Now when it comes to defending your lucky recliner, that's all you. Bojangle.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Top of the second, all tied at 1 here from Cox Field. John Gross alongside Dale Masterson. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoons. Happy to have you with us here on the UNCP Sports Network. So Jalen Scott back out of the hill. And his first pitch in there for a strike to Zach Doss. It was an interesting first inning for Scott on the mound. Gave up a solo shot to start things off as Doss dribbles it up the middle. And that's a base hit under the glove of Jarrett Mobley.
Designated hitter, number 36, Joe Burak.
So 1 on for Joe Burak.
We'll see how Jalen responds here, going from the stretch for the first time in this game.
3 straight strikeouts to end that first inning. That back fell. Not much of a lead from Doss over at first. A 1's the count. And poked into right. Back-to-back singles to lead off this top of the second. Shepard has already matched their hit total from yesterday's game.
Wow.
What a difference a day makes.
Mm-hmm. A little bit better weather out today. Got some of those jitters out yesterday. There's almost less pressure on you being the away team. Although Shepard does have plenty of people in the crowd today.
First and second for Easy Goida. Corner infielders come in.
Nice little inside move by Jalen. Keeping him honest over there at second.
Goida came in yesterday as a pinch hitter in the latter portions of the 5-2 Braves victory. Why do you feel it's less pressure for you to be the away team?
Well, I mean, ideally, your coach schedules 50 games. He wants you guys to win 50 games. And then when you're home, you're supposed to have that home field advantage. You feel more of an obligation, more like a win is necessary at home, whereas away, you don't have as many people in the crowd usually. You're not trying to impress nobody. You're just trying to get the job done. There's less pressure on you.
Interesting.
Especially in college when you're around all your friends, family. Nobody wants to be the guy that had the worst game of their life.
At home.
At home, yeah. Especially in the home opener.
0-1, hit well to left field. That'll be foul. But Goina got a whole lot of that ball. Count now 0-2.
Let's see. Very condensed stance here by Easy. Not much up or down to really play with here in the strike zone.
0-2 is high. Now, not saying you had many bad performances, but I'm just saying anytime that you did, would it be worse to hear from your coaches or from your friends after a game like that?
Well, most of my friends were on the baseball team, and everybody knows if you don't have a good game, you're going to hear it from the coaches, so there's no need to remind you.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and the coaches won't waste any time letting you know.
1-2 just inside.
Every time you come in, whether you could strike out the side or let up 3 runs, Coach O'Neill is going to give you something to work on for the next inning.
Back-to-back singles for the Rams. They have runners at first and second here. As Goina loops it into shallow left. Guzman can't race under it. Base is loaded.
That's just unfortunate. Hit off the hands by Easy. Used to call those Texas leaguers, the ones that would just bounce in there between the infielders and outfielders. Not hit very hard, but enough to get it through.
So bases loaded for Daniel Keir. Three singles for Shepard, just turn off this top of the second. And it's put into right. The hit parade continues. 1 run home. Burak held up at third. And Shepard back in front. And still no outs as Brennan Holmes steps in for his first at-bat of the season.
See if O'Neill takes a visit here. Yeah, he's going to go talk to his pitcher.
Bases loaded as the infield convenes on the pitcher's mound. Bit of a roller coaster start for Jalen Scott. We saw some really good stuff from him, though, in that first inning with the 3 strikeouts. And you know the numbers from last season, 72 strikeouts to just 15 walks. He's the guy who is going to pound the zone, and it just seems like today, at least, so far, Shepard has been hitting the ball pretty well.
Yeah, you're talking about the best of both worlds in that first inning. You let up a home run, it happens, but then you're going to strike out 3. So he's got the stuff. He's got the ability. With those kind of innings that he's had, I know he's worked out of some adversity. He's been in a few jams. Pretty confident he'll get out of this one.
Yeah, so bases loaded, nobody out. As Paul O'Neill makes his way back to the dugout. Just 2 wins away now from 700 for his career as a head coach overall.
Yeah, I remember Coach got his 600s with us. I think it was my junior year here. That was a big deal. Really excited for Coach.
That includes his time at Shenandoah. And Scott grooves it a strike. His 20th season, and he has taken this program to new heights. NCAA tournament regional appearances. He's won at least 30 games in 15 of the last 17 seasons. And Scott works ahead 0-2.
I got to give Jalen credit here. Just pounding the strike zone, even with this predicament. Not afraid to get in there.
0-2 count, bases loaded, 4 singles to start off this second inning. Thus far, plating 1 run in this second. And a backwards K for Jalen Scott.
Back to the top of the order, left fielder Dalton Stewarts.
Now you put yourselves in a situation where a ground ball could end this.
That's right, John. Ground ball can get you out. He's facing the leadoff hitter that had a pretty good at bat yesterday. I'm sorry, just earlier today. We'll see. Hopefully, a ground ball at the middle, turn 2. Get our boys back in the dugout. Get a bat in their hands.
And Stewart went yard with 2 strikes on him. Normally see guys protecting in that situation. He was going for the fences, saw a pitch he liked and just drove it out there. Not too far from our center field camera operator, Brandon Hodge. That's the 0-1. And there for strike 2.
Jay getting up 0-2 in the last 2 batters. Last one striking out looking. We'll see what happens here.
Scott pitching to Garrett Littleton today. The 0-2 offering.
Good spot. Not far from the last one. Trying to get him to chase a little bit.
Expect to see both Littleton and Alex Simpson split playing time at catcher this season. Scott still ahead 1-2 with the bases loaded.
Good pitch. Big pitch for Jalen there.
So the bases were loaded with no outs. Shepard scored 1 run, and back-to-back backwards Ks for Jalen Scott has now set him up with a chance to get out of this jam. Just 1 run surrendered. Jared Carr digs it. He's 0 for 1 today. One for 5 in the season. Carr hit over 400 last season.
Jalen getting plenty of support in the stands here.
Has a bit of a fan section here for good reason. He has responded well, both after the first inning home run, 3 straight strikeouts. And then back-to-back Ks here with the bases loaded and nobody out.
We'll see if he can't do it again here. He get himself 6.
And he's a strike away from doing just that. As it skips into the bullpen. Scott went from the bases loaded with no outs to the bases loaded with 2 outs and an 0-2 count. High chopper to second. Good backhand, and that'll end it. River Ryan steps in the bag. What a response from Jalen Scott, who surrenders just one run in that second inning, back-to-back strikeouts, and then an unassisted G4. Head to the bottom of the second. Shepard getting back in front, 2-1 the score. This is Braves baseball right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Coming at it for the Rams, 1 run, 4 hits. There were no UNCP.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
A healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
and of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
River Ryan leads things off. It's the bottom third of the UNCP lineup, looking to keep this offense rolling for both teams. 6 combined hits through an inning and a half, 3 runs, as Shepard just jumped back in front with 4 straight singles before Jalen Scott retired the next 3, including 2 strikeouts. And the count even 1-1. Ryan had a big day yesterday. Started the game at second, and then came in to close and sat down the Rams 1-2-3. One bounced to Goida, who had that ball played very well, standing directly behind second, and that's the first out of the inning.
On to the Rays, third baseman number 11, Wellington Guzman.
One away for Wellington Guzman, another Winston-Salem State transfer. Made his Braves debut yesterday.
Showed good range at third base. Gives you a lot of confidence in there as a pitcher, knowing you got all that room covered over there in the hot corner. Kind of closes up that 6 hole between shortstop as well.
Big guy, 6'4", and he's long, and he used every inch of that length yesterday.
Oh.
Coach Jefferson nearly barehanded that one. Guess it's warm enough for him to go for it, unlike yesterday.
Yeah, minimal 45-degree weather, I suppose.
Good pitch in there for strike 2. Pitch sails a bit. 1-2 count to Guzman. He's 0 for 3 in this season. Did walk yesterday. Garrett Littleton's in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-2 from Wilson. And he picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon.
The catcher, 43, Garrett Littleton.
2 away for Garrett Littleton. Gets the start at catcher today. And watches his strength to start off the at-bat.
Garrett's first at-bat of the year. Post-game interview yesterday with Paul O'Neill, he mentioned just how hard both him and Alex Simpson had worked in the fall to give that opportunity to Trevor Clemens to move in the outfield.
Yeah, feels pretty comfortable with those two behind home plate this season. And the 1-1 inside. Not only does he feel comfortable with them behind home plate, but especially after yesterday's performance, he has to feel pretty comfortable with Trevor Clemens out in right.
Oh, you have to. Made 2 amazing catches, you know. Looked like a natural out there.
Yeah. Exactly what Coach O'Neill said. Just some of those catches made it seem like he's been playing outfield his whole life. Count evened up 2 apiece with 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Littleton pops it into shallow center. In comes Carr, calls off Goida, and that ends the second inning. Mitchell Wilson sets the Braves down 1-2-3, no runs, no hits, nobody stranded on base. Headed to the top of the third here from Cox Fields. It's 2-1 Shepherd. This is UNC Pembroke Baseball on the UNCP Sports Network.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Back here at Cox Fields, John Gross alongside Dale Masterson. Jalen Scott back under the hill. A big day in UNC Pembroke Athletics. We're getting started with that crossover season, spring sports and winter sports overlapping. We have this game here, softball, wrapping up a game that was delayed from yesterday. You have the MEC Conference Wrestling Championships, both men's and women's basketball in action, track in action. A whole lot of everything today if you're a Braves fan. Joey Schwartz will lead things off as he takes the ball from Jalen Scott.
One of the first counts Jalen started behind. I talked to P.O. briefly yesterday. First series of the season. He's not trying to wear these guys out too early. He's got them on a pitch count. So I'm eager to see. I don't exactly have the number of pitches Jalen's thrown yet, but I wouldn't anticipate seeing him too much longer into the game.
He has thrown now 37. This will be his 38th pitch. And it's in there for the first strike of the third inning. Two, 1, out into right. And Clemens there for the first out. And Coach O'Neill, preseason interview, said the word that he used to talk about his pitching staff was parity. He feels that there are a lot of guys who can do good things, and he can call upon them in really a bunch of different situations. And it must be nice to have that many options at your disposal, especially when you have 3 games a weekend. You feel comfortable every day pretty much.
1 or 2 midweek games.
Right.
Beginning of the season, the staff has to be pretty versatile. You got to be up for something new. You might have a set lineup the first day of the season, but you never know what it's going to look like when it comes to the postseason.
One count to Joey Goldsmith, who now falls behind 0-2. And this so far, the best start of an inning for Jalen Scott.
We'll see if you can beat Landon's inning yesterday at 5 minutes.
That was something. 0-2.
He's on pace.
Another strikeout for Jalen Scott.
Again, pretty abnormal to see from a starting pitcher, but still impressive. Very impressive.
That's 6 strikeouts for the righty in his first game at UNC Pembroke as Zach Daw steps in. And again, Scott works ahead 0-1. Doss is 1 for 1 today and scored a run after singling. Pokes it off to second.
Should do it.
Great inning for Jalen Scott.
4 minutes.
4 minutes, that broke the record.
4 minutes.
Wow. Shortest half inning of this season. We'll see if the bottom of the half is as short as yesterday's bottom half of that inning was. I believe it was 12 total minutes that inning.
Yeah, I think it was 6 or 7 minutes, the bottom half.
Now we'll see if the Braves offense can keep things going, though, as they trail it by 1 here. This is Braves Baseball on the UNCP Sports Network.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest
good
American
portion
Indian tribe
for
east
the
of the
Braves to start
Mississippi
things
River,
off at.
with
Top
over
third of this lineup,
58,000
Trevor
members.
Clemens will lead it
The
off
town
for
hosts a
UNCP. It's
variety of
Clemens,
events
Bauckham, and
during the year,
Hammonds.
none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually
As
brings
Wilson
in over
misses the zone.
30,000 visitors.
1-0.
We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Clemens, slapper off to second, going to a good stop. And the throw was in time for the first out. One down for Ethan Bauckham. He's 1 for 1 today. A ground ball single into left field.
Trevor and Bauckham sporting the same second day walkouts as the 18 season.
Ah.
Remember them now that I'm hearing them.
Do you remember if that was their walkout last season?
I wouldn't, unfortunately.
And Bauckham takes ball 1 low. What did you say that yours was?
I played
You had 2, right?
Yeah, I played
Okay.
spring of 17, spring of 18.
You said that your walkout songs were, I forget, it was...
It was Can't Stop by the Chili Peppers and Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top.
Right, that's what it was, Sharp Dressed Man.
And my friend Biggie that came out to Notorious changed his to
Yes.
LaGrange by ZZ Top halfway through the season.
So ZZ Top, very popular,
Very
amongst
popular.
the 2018 UNC Pembroke baseball team.
Oh, yeah. Back to Hank Simpson. I think he had to have a Drake song every year.
2-1 to Bauckham, outside hitters count 3-1. The shift very much on Goida playing on the third base side of second. And Bauckham reaches for the second time today, this time via walk.
4 off-speed pitches to Bauckham, just couldn't get it in the zone.
I can't imagine too many times this season, if a pitcher gets behind against Ethan Baucom 3-1, I can't imagine they're going to put many good pitches in the zone.
They're not very eager to elevate a fastball into that zone for him. Definitely not.
The reigning Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year, consensus All-American. We'll see Gage Hammonds, who was a junior college All-American last season, step in for his second at-bat of this Saturday afternoon. Slaps it foul. Tomorrow we'll wrap up this 3-game series. 1 p.m. start time. Although the first 2 games were supposed to start at 3 and 1 respectively. Those also changed. So make sure to stay up to date with our social media platforms for any changes with start times. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at UNCP_sports and like us on Facebook, UNCP Athletics. 0-1. Good pitch. 0-2. Baucom leads off at first. 0-2, tucked inside 1 and 2.
Some hitters get mad at themselves for ducking out of the box. Usually you'll come in, your teammates will give you a little bit of, a little bit of lip for not taking one for the team, getting the first base.
Now luckily it's a little bit warmer today, so might not sting as much as it would have yesterday. Throw it on to second, Baucom takes off. And that's a double play.
Strike him out, throw him out.
What a way to end the inning for Shepherd as we head to the top of the 4th. A third of the way through this one, and the Rams lead it 2-1. This is Braves Baseball right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
It's officially the holidays, and you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer. So drop a big bow box on your pigskin powwow, because whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, nothing helps swallow tears of defeat like swallowing a bunch of fried chicken first. Now when it comes to defending your lucky recliner, that's all you. Bojangles, it's bow time.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
Six, 7, 8 due up in this 4th. It's Joe Burak to get us started. The righty is 1 for 1 today as he rolls it off to short. In time, good play by Mobley for the first out.
Second baseman, Easy Goita.
1 pitch, 1 out. That's one way to limit your pitch count.
Very efficient. If you can be anything, you should be efficient.
As Goita way ahead on that pitch. Scott not afraid to start off at bats with some off-speed pitches. Line down the third base side. That's a fair ball. Rolls up into the corner. Hammonds gets behind it. Goita on his horse to second. He's in there, a stand-up double. Sixth base knock of the game for Shepard.
Just out of reach for Guzman, who made that great play glove side yesterday. Just couldn't get to it arm side today.
So with one out, Shepard, a runner in scoring position. Looking to get some production here out of the bottom portion of this lineup, which is where they found their success in that second inning. Bergreen is 1 for 1 today with an RBI. Pretty big lead for Goida off at second. And they pull back in the bunt.
You'll see hitters do that a lot of time just to see what kind of coverage defense is in currently. If they see that third baseman biting, they'll try to bunt him over to third base, get him in better position.
And the 1-0 is pop back foul, 1-1. One from Scott to Bergreen. And throw back, not in time. JJ Oxendine up and throw into the UNCP pen, pardon me. There's ball 2. And Scott levels the count 2-2.
Dropped in a nice little curveball there.
One away here. Easy Goida leads off at second. He doubled for the 6th hit of the game for Shepard.
One out man on second. Right now the hitter's looking for something to take on the other side of the plate, take to the right side of the field, move him over to third.
Now right side of the field fairly open with Ryan now sliding back after covering second. And he stays alive 2-2.
Two now. He's just going to choke up, try to put something in play.
Here we go.
2-2, one away. And the 50th pitch of the game for Scott is spoiled back.
Oxendine going off the mound now.
Here's the 2-2 from Jalen Scott.
Good
7 strikeouts for Jalen Scott in his UNCP debut, and that's the second out of the inning.
Can expect to see JJ Oxendine slow down that pen a little bit. If anything, maybe he'll roll him out for next inning, give him a fresh start.
Right fielder, Brennan Holmes.
Jalen's got one more to go before we can get back in here.
And a chance to end this inning with the bottom portion of this lineup. It's Holmes, the 9-hitter, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Remember Ryan at second base, still holding him on loosely at second. little bit bigger now.
Fastball for a strike. And going to take in a pretty sizable lead off at second. We saw him with some speed on the base pass on that double. Good stop by Littleton.
Very important for your pitcher to work with your middle infielders there. You don't want to release the ball too soon. Keep your position players out of proper position to field the ball. The closer River is to that base, the bigger the hole is on the right side of the field. And if you can poke a ball through that hole, you can expect to see the runner on second try to speed his way around third, make Trevor Clemens make a throw to home.
Clemens in a little bit in right field. I'm guessing that's something you practice a lot, making sure that timing is, you guys are on the same page.
Yeah, so always communicate with middle infielders. It's really, you'll have one of those guys watching in on the catcher, see what he's doing. Even down the, like you said, Trevor Clemens' position in the outfield, he's got to be just close enough to where a ground ball, he's going to have time to pop up, make a throw to home, and have a chance of getting him.
2-1, hit towards right field, and it's in a right.
He's going to come up, make this
Clemens, no throw, as Goyna will score. And Shepherd adds to their lead. 3-1, Rams in front.
Little double clutch by Clemens there. Happens with the wet field, you know, throwing that ball with a wet grip. Not only is that runner going to score, but the runner on first is going to advance to second. So, not ideal, but smart play by Clemens to hold on.
Top of the order now for Dalton Stewart, who got things started today with his solo home run to center. 7 hits for Shepherd. Its largest lead of the series.
First pick to first this game.
There's the first pitch of the at-bat. Bounced, fell. So Holmes, who's on first, causing some concern at the bases here.
Jalen throwing over, keeping him honest on first. Really, 2 outs, you just want to focus on the batter here.
0-1, now 0-2. Jalen Scott has gone 3 2/3, surrendering 3 runs, all of them earned on 7 hits. Give it up 2 extra base hits, but 7 strikeouts and no walks. J.J. Oxendine up and thrown to the bullpen. This possibly the last inning for Scott of the mound. Looking to finish it off right here. The 0-2. And again, pickoff attempt back to first. Oh, 2. And another strikeout as Littleton applies the tag. 8 Ks for Jalen Scott. Through 4 innings of work, but another run put on the board by Shepherd on 2 hits. And And one runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Rams in front, 3-1. This is UNC Pembroke baseball right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
and of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
When you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer, drop a big bow box on it. Whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, at least they'll gnash their teeth on something delicious. It's bow time.
Bobby Dixon leads things off for the Braves, trailing by 2 runs. Shepard putting up a run to the first, second, and top of this fourth. Mitchell Wilson has looked good so far on the mound. 3 innings, giving up just 1 hit and 1 run. Dixon sends it in the air, backwards, and in and out of the glove of Zach Doss.
Just out of reach. Good effort by the catcher.
Regardless, Wilson works ahead 0-2. Midfield again shifted towards third. And a perfect spot there as Dixon set down looking.
First baseman, Connor Granger.
Third strikeout of the game for Wilson. Now gone 3 to third. As Connor Granger digs in. Walked his first at bat, 1 for 4 on the season.
Granger's got as much pop in his bat as anybody in the lineup.
Come around to it there, 1-1.
Very quiet. I don't know if I heard Granger say a word until my second year here at Pembroke. Very quiet guy, very nice.
And he takes ball 2. There's the 2-1. Bounce back 2-2. Again, a lot of dogs in attendance here. Big fan of that.
Yeah. You always see some volleyball coaches from past years bring their dogs. We have some Bark in the Park events here.
Yeah.
At Sammy Cox Field.
That's scheduled for later this season. 2-2. Skipped outside, the gap moves full.
It's always nice heading out of the dugout, heading for a foul ball, and get to pet some pups on your way there.
Full count here, 1 away. And another strikeout from Mitchell Wilson. That's back-to-back Ks, 4 for the game.
Mitchell's still looking strong here in the 4th inning.
The shortstop, Jared Mobley.
2 up, 2 down. Jared Mobley looks to prolong this 4th inning. The Braves offense has gone quiet since the first.
Really favoring that curveball here. later in the game, second, third time through the lineup, these players have seen almost all your pitches. So if you can't show them anything new, you can at least switch up the sequence. Umpire addressing some rowdy fans here, not agreeing with the call.
One. It off to short off a tough hop. And the throw to first is in time from Goldsmith to end the fourth inning. Head to the top 5. Shepherd in front 3-1 here. Coxfield, this is Braves Baseball, the UNCP Sports Network.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
Leading off the 5th inning for Shepherd, center fielder Jared Carr.
Top of the 5th, on to the order coming up for Shepherd. 2-3-4, and it's Jared Carr to tee things off. Carr 0 for 2 today. With a strikeout, 1 for 6 in the season. And Jalen Scott will stay in there. Oxendine still standing on the mound of the bullpen. And the first pitch splits the wickets of Littleton, ball 1. That evens up the count 1-1. Are you surprised to see him still in there?
You know, I am. 5th inning after the first, after the start, he got off to the game, and the leadoff home run's not a big deal after striking out 3, but loading the bases, no one out, and then working your way back. He used up a decent amount of pitches there, but the 2 following innings, he got out of the inning pretty quick, fairly quick, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him try to empty the tank, get everything out of it before handing it off to the next guy here.
He's done a great job responding to some difficult situations today. And the count moves even 2-2. You mentioned that home run, then struck out 3 straight. Bases loaded, gets 3 straight outs after surrendering just 1. He's had some good stuff out there today. His first game as a Brave after transferring in from Winston-Salem State. 2-2 to Carr. And a miss below the knees.
He's just competing. That ball just missed. Something with our pitching staff, PO, is always stressing mental strength and just being tougher than the next guy. I think Jay's a great example of that. Got himself into some predicaments and gotten out pretty unscathed.
And Carr lines it back to stay alive. Sometimes I forget that the netting is there in front of us. And I'll be honest, I flinch sometimes.
Yeah, it's only natural.
When you're standing in the dugout, that's when a lefty's up, your home third base dugout. That is the danger zone right there, Dale.
Yeah, you really have to be paying attention. You're looking at both the first base coach and the third base coach in the very back of that box.
3-2, slapped on the ground off to first. And Granger will step in the bag for the first out. Over the summer, I worked for a baseball team, and there were, this past season, 4 times, and the press boxes around the league are fairly high up behind home plate. 4 times where the same player nearly hit inside the press box window and hit myself and my broadcast partner. It was the same guy 4 times.
He must have had your number or something.
Listen, I told him, I'm like, dude, you gotta hit it somewhere else. Come on.
Man, would you take a spot on the bus?
No, he said, hey, if I could hit it out deep to center field, I would. Trust me. And a 1-0 to Schwartz, evened up 1-1. And Scott locked in here in the top of the 5th.
Jay getting it done on both sides of the plate. Late in the game, sometimes you'll see pitchers start to lose a little bit of command, but Jay's still looking sharp. Garrett looking very comfortable behind the home plate. Very good receiver, Garrett is.
1-2 offering from Jalen Scott is snubbed into left. That's just foul.
Guzman always right there. Always so close to making that play. Seeing good range from that guy.
I have the feeling we're going to see a lot of highlight reel plays from him at the hot corner. 6'4", long, athletic. We already saw one yesterday.
One, two, a little bit slower of a pace for starting pitchers I've seen from Jay here. See a lot of batters calling time.
1-2 with one away. 9 strikeouts for Jalen Scott, who continues to mow down these batters. 2 away here in the 5th.
Shepard was really excited at the end of that last inning. Really cooled down here watching 2 quick outs.
Jalen Smith up to 75 pitches with 2 away here in the 5th. And he drops it in on pitch 76.
Going right at him. Man.
Joey Goldsmith over 2 today. Hit well to right. Clemens ranging left. And that ends the inning. Jalen Scott, 1-2-3. A good decision to keep him in the ball game as he sets down the Rams in order. Midway through today's game, Shepard in front, 3-1, its largest lead of this weekend series so far. We'll see if the Braves can respond here in the bottom of the 5th. This is UNCP Baseball on the UNCP Sports Network.
It's officially the holidays, and you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer. So drop a big bow box on your pigskin powwow, because whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, nothing helps swallow tears of defeat like swallowing a bunch of fried chicken first. Now when it comes to defending your lucky recliner, that's all you. Bojangles, it's bow time.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
River Ryan leads things off for the Braves, trailing by 2 runs into the bottom of the 5th. Mitchell Wilson stays on the bump for the Rams. First pitch swinging. And Ryan fouled it off himself.
Never fun starting off the at-bat with a little stinger on the ankle right there. Ump giving him some time. Few unspoken rules of baseball. Catcher catches one off the inside of the ankle. Ump gets hit. You're usually calling time, going to talk to your pitcher.
A 1, well hit to left center field as Carr sprinting back towards the wall, reaching up, and he collides in the left center field fence with the ball in his glove. What a snag for the first out of the inning.
Good swing by River there, good piece of hitting. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the opposing team. Got to make a great effort going right into the wall there. Really can't be too upset with that one.
And that's wood out there.
Oh yeah,
That hurts.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's not the rubber padding you see on TV.
Yeah.
That's, you're feeling every bit of that.
So Jared Carr making a great defensive play as Wellington Guzman steps in with one away. Guzman 0 for 4 today. And he got hit.
Gage Hammond yesterday. Guzman today.
Not here so much.
Oh. Just trying to mime the some of the sound effects going on.
I'm embarrassed to say, but what movie is that? I'm guessing that's from a movie.
That is Chris Farley and David Spade in either Black Sheep or Tommy Boy. I can't quite remember. One of those movies.
Littleton shows bunt, snap throw back to first, and Guzman is in there safely. Well, Dale, as you know, I haven't seen a lot of classic movies.
Yeah, I remember discussing that back at the apartment, but
yeah.
It's okay. Still got a long way ahead of you. A few more bus trips will fix that one. Chris Farley, one of the greats. Will Ferrell, another favorite among the baseball team. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Step Brothers or Anchorman on the bus.
Found away by Littleton.
Then you've got the baseball favorites, like Fever Pitch. You got just countless baseball movies. Summer Catch is one of Ethan Balcom's favorites.
Summer Catch. True to Littleton. He's chopped foul. What's your favorite baseball movie of all time?
Favorite baseball movie? There's a lot. Trouble with the Curve's good. For Love of the Game. I think, yeah, For Love of the Game might be my favorite one. Bull Durham's great, too. I know you've seen that one, right?
No, I have not seen Bull Durham.
We got to get you out of this broadcast booth. Put you on probation, John.
And that poked into right field. Space hit for Littleton. And the Braves getting 2 on base here.
Consider this an invitation to my gangster man. Right fielder Trevor Clemens.
Well, bottom of the order, setting up the top of the order. First and second, one away for Trevor Clemens.
Both teams I played for, well, every team I played for, whether it was junior college, summer ball, here at UNC Pembroke, they always stress cycling the lineup. Once you get through that meat of the lineup, you got to cycle back to the top and get those guys with a bat in their hand once again.
And these guys have seen Wilson, the third at-bat of the game for Clemens. And now a mound visit.
Pitching coach is probably heading out there, chat with him, see how he's feeling, try to buy a guy in the bullpen some time to get loose.
Eric O'Brien walking around, stretching out his arms in the pen.
It was my understanding that
6'3" senior right-hander. As Peter Griffin blasts through the speaker system here at Cox Field. All right, so after the mound visit, Trevor Clemens digs in. Top of the order for the Braves. Runners in first and second. Guzman was hit by a pitch. Littleton on first base. Just recorded his first hit of the game and his first game of this season. Clemens bounced right to first, and they go to third to get Guzman. Schwartz to Goldsmith, getting the lead runner for the second out.
Up next for the Braves, center fielder Ethan Buckham.
2 away for Ethan Buckham.
That's the thing about baseball, John. You're always just one pitch away from a disaster or from a miracle. Things looking a little grim, getting late in the game with the pitch count. Man on first and second, one out. This guy hits a double here, you're in trouble, or you're getting a ground ball, turn a double play, and get you out of the inning. You never know what's going to happen.
They should put that on a poster. That quote from Dale Masterson. One pitch away from a disaster or a miracle. Littleton second, Clemens in first. 2 away here at a 1-0 count to Ethan Buckham.
Very, well, shouldn't say very unorthodox, but.
High fly into right center, Goita back. And he's called off. The catch is made by Brennan Holmes to end the inning. So the Braves get a couple on, but can't bring them around. So we head to the top of the 6th. No runs coming across. 1 run, 2 stranded on base. 3-1. Shepard leading here on the UNCP Sports Network.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
When you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer, drop a big bow box on it. Whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, at least they'll gnash their teeth on something delicious. It's bow time.
First call to the bullpen for either side today. J.J. Oxendine into the mound for Jalen Scott. Oxendine, his first game here at UNCP. Jalen Scott also made his debut today. He wraps up a pretty good performance, kept most notably 9 strikeouts for the righty transfer from Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, you've heard me beat the dead horse probably about 4 or 5 times now, but again, just got to give him credit for going after every batter. If he walked anybody today.
He did not?
No.
The catcher, Zach Goss.
5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 9 strikeouts.
9 strikeouts, very high for 5 innings.
As Das lines it fouled in the left field line. Oxendine, the transfer from Southeastern Community College, from St. Paul's. 5'9" on the mound. He's mainly a starter at Southeastern Community College, but coming out of the pen here as a Brave.
Again, Shepard coming out swinging right away. You go all winter with seeing very limited live pitching, and you're coming out jumping on a new pitcher that you haven't seen thrown from the mound yet. You can tell these guys are eager to get up there, get the bat in their hands, and show their teammates what they can do.
And the 1-1 is bounced to third. Guzman charging on the run in time for the first out.
Just making it look easy.
We mentioned the early aggression in the batter's box. First and second inning, both those runs came early in the inning, so they're finding success. They came with no outs, and the game plan's been working for them. Went away for Joe Burek in the top of the 6th. He's 1 for 2 today, 1 for 5 of the season. Of course, just the second game of the year. UNCP won yesterday's matchup 5-2. Oxendine starts it off with a couple of balls. And there's a strike. Oxendine last season at Southeastern, 18 games in 5 starts, record of 5-3, 6.55 ERA. Led his team with 79 2/3 innings pitched. As that ball is grounded foul to the third base side of the count, evened up at 2-2. All-state selection in high school, all conference. He was the county player of the year as a senior. 8-1 record at St. Paul's High School, and an 0.55 ERA.
JJ working out and in. See if this pitch is an outside breaking ball, and it is.
Dale Masterson, another call. Second out.
Anytime you see someone pull a line drive foul ball to the left side of the field when they're ready, you can expect, almost guarantee, to see an off speed on the other side of the plate. It's all about mind games.
2 outs for Easy Goida.
Right back to that curveball. Looked pretty good, too. Just missed.
Count now 1-1. Yeah, by the end of this season, well before the end of the season, you will be the Tony Romo of baseball.
I hope. I could only hope.
1-1, line fouled in the third base side. Okay, so last time we saw a hard hit line drive down the left field line. You called it. What are you feeling here?
2 strikes on him. I'm going to say the same thing. Off speed outside, especially with Easy's stance. He's been pulling things all day. You gonna see Garrett set up? Oh.
Pop to shallow center. River Ryan tracks underneath it. And J.J. Oxendine sets down the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Rams. Headed to the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. 3-1 Shepherd. In front, this is Braves Baseball, UNCP Sports Network.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
When you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer, drop a big bow box on it. Whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, at least they'll gnash their teeth on something delicious. It's bow time.
Bottom of the sixth, Mitchell Wilson still pitching. Enters this inning 63 pitches, averaging just about 12 pitches per inning. He's made relatively easy work out there on the mound, but has a tough task here. Gage Hammonds will lead things off, and the Braves starting to see him a little better. Last inning got a couple of base runners on. As Hammonds takes ball one.
Good lead by Gage there. Again, starting off with some breaking balls. Some off-speed pitches, pitching backwards a little bit here.
There we go, 1-1. 3, 4, 5 for UNCP. Hammonds, Dixon, and Granger. The power bats. At least 3 of the power bats of this Braves lineup due up. The 1-1 drops in there for strike 2. Wilson brings up his 5th batter of the game.
Designated hitter, Bobby Dixon.
One on for Bobby Dixon, who was one of the heroes for yesterday's game. A 3-run home run gave the Braves 5-2 lead. UNCP didn't look back from there as he takes ball 1 well inside.
Bobby's all over that plate right now.
Big cut at that one, 1-1.
Let's go, 20.
Probably looking a bit more comfortable than his previous at-bats today. Going back to those walkouts, John. Some people like something serious to hype them up. Some people like something like Bobby's walkout, a little goofy, something to keep you loose, not to take the game too seriously, just relax and play your best baseball.
Yeah, you could learn a lot about somebody based on their walkout. Everyone's so unique. And another strikeout for Wilson. Back-to-back Ks make that 6 through 5 2/3.
First baseman Connor Granger.
Wilson up to 72 pitches. As Connor Granger watches pitch 73 for a strike. And he works ahead 0-2. Mitchell Wilson in a groove right now. Look at a strikeout the side. 0-2. The Rams thought they had that.
Crowd liked it a lot more than the ump. Yeah.
Great sound effect there.
Big fan of this media team, John.
Did a very nice job.
pitcher's got to be feeling good. Only 1 run in the 6th. Dealing to the first 2 batters of the inning. Really giving his guys a chance here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a 2-run lead for Shepherd. Wilson is strike away from caning up the side. And the count works full, so after Shepherd thought it had its 3rd strikeout of the inning, and 3 straight balls delivered by Wilson, who has walked 3 batters today. Rolled to Goida, who is playing left of the bag. The second baseman positioned perfectly, and the shift works as hoped as we head to the top of the 7th. Braves go down in order, a pair of strikeouts for Mitchell Wilson. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. This is Braves Baseball on the UNCP Sports Network.
When a hospital invests in technology, skilled hands and keen eyes have new tools for diagnosing disease and making people better. At Scotland, we were the first in the region to provide 3D mammograms and robotic joint surgery, and the only hospital in the region to collaborate with Duke Health to offer both radiation and medical oncology for cancer patients. At Scotland, we invest in the newest technology for one simple reason: to deliver you closer care that's better by far.
When you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer, drop a big bow box on it. Whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, at least they'll gnash their teeth on something delicious. It's bow time.
Second inning of work for J.J. Oxendine in the mounds, the local product. Plenty of success at his first inning as a Brave, as Trenton Bergreen steps in to lead things off. Bottom part of this Shepherd lineup, and Bergreen watches strike 1. And Oxendine works ahead 0-2. A lot of strikeouts in this one. Wilson has 6, and with no action of the Shepherd bullpen, he might go in there for a 7th. The starting pitcher, Jalen Scott, had 9, and now another K for Oxendine. That's his 2nd of the game.
The right fielder, Brennan Holmes.
One away for the 9-hitter, Brennan Holmes.
Fan the first batter with 3 quick pitches. Misses just a little bit outside with this one. Right back in it.
And ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Don't charge into that one, but fell. Down the right field side of the play.
Right in the Shepherd bullpen there. Right back in at 1-2.
Ooh, and Oxendine plants it on the backside of Holmes. Makes his way down to first.
Back to the top of the order for the Rams.
And we'll head to the top of the order.
Stewarts.
Dalton Stewart got this game started with a bang. A solo shot to lead the game off at the top of the first with 2 strikes on him.
Respectable lead over there at first base. Still feeling him out, still trying to time how long it takes JJ to pick up that front foot and deliver it to the mound. You see the third base coach take out a stopwatch.
First base runner that Oxendine has had to deal with today.
That third base coach is going to be timing his pickoff move, how long it takes his fastball to reach home plate, how long it takes an off-speed pitch before he can make a decision whether he wants to send that runner or not.
The 1-0 just missed, 2-0. Chance to turn 2, and it's under the glove of Mobley, not in time to second. Not quite tailor-made, but a good chance to get a pair of outs. Instead, it'll be the first error of the game for the Braves.
Center fielder, Jared Carr.
So it puts first and second for statistically the top hitter in this Shepherd lineup, Jared Carr. Steps back in with 1 away. Double play would end the inning here for the Braves.
Roughly the 8th at bat for Jared Carr, right down the dugout. You got some pitchers, maybe even some coaches looking at the spray chart, seeing where he's usually hitting the ball, maybe some sheets from last year. And you'll use that info to try to dictate where the next pitch is going to be thrown.
And we'll call time as like a shoe's being tied out at second base.
It's like Brennan Holmes.
Holmes on second, Dalton Stewart in first. Carr in the batter's box. And there's a strike. Carr is 0 for 3 today, 1 for 7 in the weekend. Shepherd, a good opportunity to add some insurance runs to his lead as it's raked into right field, and that'll 2-hop off the fence. 1 run scores. Rounding third is Stewart, who now retreats to third base. And Shepherd jumps out to a 4-1 lead, an RBI double by Jared Carr.
River delivering a strike there from shallow right to home plate, shutting down the possibility of adding an extra run there.
Brings up Joey Schwartz with 2 on, both in scoring position, and 1 out. So first base unoccupied.
Again, timing a big thing for both hitters and pitchers. Not unusual for a batter to call time. Maybe get in the pitcher's head a little bit, collect his thoughts.
Does that really get to you as a pitcher when a batter is stepping out of the box, taking his time?
If you're one of the guys that likes to work quick, it can irritate you a little bit, but if you're allowing that to happen, you're really losing that battle. Key is to stay composed, play your game.
Pitch from Oxendine, 1-1.
JJ right back to it. Probably sees as there's not a lot of speed on third base, so running the risk for maybe a bunt. A squeeze is pretty low, so going from the windup's not such a bad idea. Whereas Jalen went from the stretch earlier. Good pitch.
Schwartz could come around to the breaking ball, so it's a 1-2 count, 1 away. Strikeout would be absolutely huge here for UNCP. Anything in play could score Stewart from third and add to this already 3-run lead. Oxendine put it just upstairs. Shepard scored 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, and 1 so far in the 7th.
Very good view from up here in the booth, John. You can almost look at the batter and see their gait and see where they're able to hit the ball. Carr looked like he was a pull side hitter anyway. He looks like Joey Schwartz looks like he could take it on either side, but we'll see. Especially being the 3-hole hitter.
He's over 3 today, hitless in the season, 5 strikeouts in his 6 at-bats to start this 2020 campaign. This his 7th time in the batter's box this season. He did walk in his other trip to the plate.
I don't know if you noticed this, John, but you can see his front left of his hip just a little bit more in towards home plate, giving him a good shot to hit that backside fastball on the right side of the field. And that's really what he's looking to do here with 1 out. A ground ball to River Ryan at second base, scores 1. He might get thrown out at first, but that's a win for him.
Ryan playing back in the infield. 3-2 from Oxendine. Misses inside of the bases, work loaded.
Comes to the Braves third baseman, Joey Goldsmith.
So 1 out, bases juiced for Joey Goldsmith.
JJ gonna have to ante up, make some good pitches here. Bases are loaded, so it does bring in a chance for that double play ball. Get yourself out of the inning. Just gotta stay disciplined. We'll see if P.O. has anything to say to him.
And here it comes. Like you said, a double play would end this inning, which is so far seen Shepard score 1 run. If UNCP is able to come back and win this game, there have been ample opportunities for Shepard to add a lot more runs than they've already put in the board. You look back to that 2nd inning, bases loaded, no outs. They score 1 run, and if the Braves can get out of this jam here, they have the bases loaded, 1 out, runners in 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, and just so far in the 7th inning, 1 run, and of course with still 9 outs to go for the Braves in the batter's box, a 3-run hole is by no means out of reach.
Oh no, never. I can't remember how many games we played where both teams have put well over 10 runs. So, especially for a program like Pembroke, we've shown they have the ability to hit the ball. Even Shepard.
Yeah, 2 top 10 scoring offenses from last season. Braves and Shepard both averaged right around 9 runs per game last season. Do you have any memories of any wild late game comebacks here at UNCP?
Wild late game comebacks. My first year here, the pitcher from North Georgia was throwing, I'm pretty sure it was a perfect game. He ended up walking 3 batters. They don't give him a chance to get out of the inning. They bring in the next guy. Next guy up, grand slam. Just like that.
This is the 9?
No, this is late in the game within the last 3 innings.
Wow.
But we were down at least 2 runs to nothing. He goes from throwing a perfect game, getting taken out, to having 3 earned runs on the docket.
Brutal.
we ended up winning that game. That was huge.
That was my next question. Did you win the game?
Oh, yeah.
So 1-0 to Goldsmith. And now time's called, and those mental games that we talked about, a little back and forth between pitcher and batter. Two and 0. Stewart third, Carr on second. Schwartz leads off at first.
Expect to see a healthy hack from the batter here. Really looking for a pitch, especially 2-0, 1 out, bases loaded. He's looking for a pitch that he can hit deep into the outfield.
He got one he seemed to have liked, maybe just a little bit late on it.
Still ahead in the count here. Any pitch that he can hit hard in the hole, maybe get a sac fly.
Corner infield in for the Braves.
JJ is going to try to stay low here, force a ground ball.
Again, Goldsmith steps out. Wind picking up a bit here at Cox Field. It's cooled down as this game has progressed. As the 2-1 home, works the outer corner, 2-2.
JJ right back in there. But the Shepherd hitters have shown, even with 2 strikes, they're not just looking for a little poke through. They're gonna be swinging.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Bases loaded. Oxendine looking to keep Shepherd off the board. Roll to second. Mobley, backhand. Flip to first.
Picked by Granger, it's
In
there.
time. 6-4-3, turns 2 and gets the Braves out of a big-time jam. And we head to the 7th inning stretch. Braves trailing by just 3. Mobley bouncing back after the error earlier in the 7th. 1 run comes across for Shepherd. They leave one of the base pass. We head to the 5 of the 7th. Braves down 3. This is UNCP Baseball on the UNCP Sports Network.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Bottom of the 7th, and fresh after making a massive defensive play, Jarrett Mobley stays. We'll start things off in the batter's box. Quick announcement here. Next game for the Braves, they'll take on the Queens Royals. That game was originally slated for Wednesday night as Mobley gets jammed inside and loops it into foul territory. And sliding to make the grab is Goldsmith as his cap falls off for the first out. So that game now moved up to Tuesday night right here at Cox Field, and it'll be a 6 p.m. first pitch.
Second baseman, River Ryan.
John, we've seen this coverage a few times today, mostly with Ethan Balcom and Connor Granger, where they're sliding that shortstop deep into the 6 hole, and they're moving that second baseman on the left side of second base. It opens up a huge hole on the right side of the field, kind of forcing the hitter to play on the backside. And what the pitcher will do here, most of his pitches will be on the inside. It's going to force the batter to pull the ball right where they got gloves.
A 1 from Wilson, who in his 7th inning of work just surpassed the 80 pitch mark. Count now 1-1. You know, one thing, maybe not in this situation, but especially when a lefty's up and they're shifted towards first or right field, I don't get why more players don't just bunt down the third baseline. That's a guaranteed hit every time, pretty much.
You got to get it deep in there, but pitcher doesn't look too unathletic, so he might be able to get there. You never know. You really never know. I don't see a lot of bunting these days.
No. Especially with lefties. You put that thing down the third baseline, have third baseman playing pretty much shortstop. You're going to get a hit. 2-1. Well hit by River Ryan, but not deep enough. Carr off to his left, 2 away.
Going back to the spray charts I mentioned earlier, where you're charting where guys are hitting what pitches. These guys have really done their homework, especially really surprised to see Ethan Balkin get intentionally walked yesterday. First game of the season, you know, man on second base, man on first or second base, Trevor Clemens. It's pretty unusual.
Two outs for Wellington Guzman. Some action now in both bullpens, as Wilson just missed on that pitch. UNCP with just 2 hits so far. Guzman taken all the way there, strike 2. And Mitchell Wilson works ahead 1 and 2. He has 6 strikeouts today. He's got 6 2/3. As the righty fires home, and Guzman chops it into the UNCP dugout. One, two away from Wilson. And the righty fans Guzman his 7th strikeout as he exchanges some words towards the UNCP dugout. And we head to the top of the 8th. Braves sat down in order. Mitchell Wilson wheeling and dealing to the mound today. It's 4-1 Shepherd through 7. This is Braves baseball on the UNCP Sports Network.
Left on base. We head to the 8th inning. Shepherd 4, UNCP 1.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
and of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people, but to us, they're simply better by far.
It's officially the holidays, and you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer. So drop a big bow box on your pigskin powwow, because whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, nothing helps swallow tears of defeat like swallowing a bunch of fried chicken first. Now, when it comes to defending your lucky recliner, that's all you. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Top of the 8th. John Gross alongside former UNCP pitcher Dale Masterson. This is the second game of the season. Your second game on the mic. That's a little bit different than playing, but doing a good job.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely different on this side of the field, this side of the fence.
Zach Doss leads things off for Shepherd, as he watches a strike from Oxendine. A pair of arms up and tossing in the Braves bullpen. Mitchell Wilson just finished his 7th inning of work, and while there is a reliever throwing fairly hard in the Shepherd bullpen, Wilson did have 5 complete games last year as Das charges it to center. Buckham underneath it for the first out.
Designated hitter, Joe Burak.
And if it is the end of the road for Wilson, on to performance for the righty. One away for Joe Burak. 1 for 3 today.
Just a little bit too inside from JJ.
Burak singled in his first at-bat. And the 1-0 finds the zone 1-1.
Right back to it with the breaking ball. Haven't seen many walks these last 2 games. Handful of hit by pitches, but that's about it. Speaking of,
hit by pitch.
Next for the Rams, second baseman, Easy Goita.
So Easy Goita will step in after the hit by pitch with 1 down. We've seen 4 combined walks between these two teams. Just 1 for the Braves. That was from J.J. Oxendine. 9 strikeouts, 0 walks for UNCP starters today, and Jalen Scott.
Touch of hands, pitch running at first base for the Rams, 16, Kendall Jordan.
Kendall Jordan, the redshirt junior from Washington, D.C., will pinch run over at first base. With Easy Goita at the dish.
another thing we haven't seen too much is any stolen attempts, any attempts to steal any bags here. Sizable lead at first base. We'll see if he can test the arm of Garrett Littleton.
I did see that hit and run earlier in the game, which worked well for UNCP. Scored the Braves' lone run, but that's it. No stolen base attempts. But Jordan taking a pretty comfortable edge off the bag at first, as Goita slaps it back, and Oxendine now ahead 0-2.
Would not be surprised if JJ throws over himself or gets a sign from the catcher. Try to cut that lead down a little bit. 0-2. Batter's probably expecting a breaking ball. Hopefully something in the dirt. Inching off that bag.
0-2. In the air to left field, into foul play. Hammonds giving chase towards the bullpen, sliding forward and makes the grab. Gage Hammonds, a phenomenal catch, as Jordan does tag from first to second.
The shortstop, Trenton Bergreen.
It's a good effort by Gage deep in left field. Foul territory. Can't do much about that advancement of the runner.
So 2 away for Trenton Bergreen after the highlight reel snag and left by Gage Hammonds. Jackson again advanced to second. Now he's standing in scoring position. Bergreen 1 for 3 today with an RBI single back in the second. 1 run to the first, 1 to the second, 1 in the fourth, and another in the seventh. The scoring today for Shepherd. UNCP tied things in the first. They've been held off the scoreboard since. Movement on that pitch. 1-1. And the 1-1 moves to 1-2, and for the first time in a couple of days, a pocket of sunshine beyond the center field fence.
Don't jinx us too much here, John.
Oh, it's about as small of blue sky as you can find. One, two's the count with 2 away. And Bergreen keeps this inning going. Top of the 8th. Braves won the season opener yesterday by the score of 5-2. Took some late game heroics. Bat of Bobby Dixon. 3-run home run. Put UNCP in the driver's seat. Oh, a little chin music there to Bergreen. Just duck away from that pitch.
2-2 out. High fastball coming at your head. I'm going to go ahead and say breaking ball here, John.
Breaking ball. Well, do you have a prediction for the location?
I'm going to say in the dirt for this one.
Breaking ball in the dirt. No, it was a breaking ball as it's lifted into foul territory, and Granger ranging back to make the catch and end the top half of the 8th. Head to the bottom of the 8th inning. UNCP looking to get some offense going, only trailing it by 3. This is Braves Baseball, the UNCP Sports Network.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
Eric O'Brien taking the mound, so the day is done for Mitchell Wilson. 7 impressive innings of work, holding the Braves to just 1 run. Now the hard-throwing righty will take the hill. Made 11 appearances last year, 4 of them starts, 2-1 record, 4.55 ERA. In 27 1/3 innings of work, as Littleton now sits even 1-1. Braves trailing by 3 runs. We're gonna get those bats working. A pair of hits on the day. One, 2 from O'Brien. Dropped it a little bit low with the zone.
Good hack by Garrett there.
9-1-2 due up for the Braves. So Littleton, like you get on base, set up top part of this lineup with Clemens on deck, followed by Ethan Baucom.
Clemens got plenty of power at that one spot to move Garrett around the bases too.
Littleton in the air to right. Wind picking up. This
That's
might
trouble.
be tough to track down, and it falls in between 3 players. So second life here for Littleton.
Braves with 6 outs left to do it here. If all goes well, we might only need 3.
Two arms up and tossing in the Braves bullpen. Two count from O'Brien, first batter he's facing today. Beautiful curveball, settles in for strike 3, and that's the first out of the 8th.
Consider this an invitation to my gangster. On base for the Braves, right fielder Trevor Clemens.
Trevor Clemens steps in, one away here in the bottom of the 8th. Clemens 0 for 2 today. He did walk and later scored the lone run of the game for the Braves. Makes pitch on the outside corner for a strike. A 1, pretty well hit ball out to left field. Stewart underneath it. And a couple of quick outs here to start off the 8th.
Center fielder Ethan Baucom.
Showing that same shift from earlier, John. Pulling that second baseman over. A good 15, 20 feet from the second base bag. Leaving that whole right side open.
Baucom behind 0-1. Baucom 1 for 2 on the day. He singled earlier in the game. That thing really pops out of his hand.
Hides the ball well. High outside fastball to Baucom. Preceded by a curveball. We'll see what he comes back with.
Chopper to short. Played perfectly by the shift. And the throw from Berggren is in time. Braves set down 1-2-3. We head to the top of the last. 4-1 Shepherd in front. This is Braves baseball on UNCP Sports Network.
No runners left on base. We head to the 9th inning. Shepherd 4, UNCP 1.
It's officially the holidays, and you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer. So drop a big bow box on your pigskin powwow, because whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, nothing helps swallow tears of defeat like swallowing a bunch of fried chicken first. Now when it comes to defending your lucky recliner, that's all you. Bojangles, it's bow time. When you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer, drop a big bow box on it. Whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, at least they'll gnash their teeth on something delicious. It's bow time.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town, regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Top of the last, and it's RJ Van Vickle time. His first appearance as a Brave, transferring in from UVA Wise. Last season as a sophomore for the Cavaliers, 15 appearances, 12 starts, 5-6 on the season, and a 6.11 earn run average. 9-1-2 due up this inning for Shepherd. Looking to tack on a couple of additional runs as Hammond takes a strike. And we touched on this before, but they very easily could be up by a lot more than 3. As it's 4-1 here in the 9th. 0-1 from Van Vickle. Sky to shallow right. And River Ryan underneath it for the first out.
That's right, John. Getting out of the inning, bases loaded, 1 out both times, allowing just 1 runs. Very impressive. Ideally, you don't let up any, but I think letting up 1 is an acceptable loss there. Pitcher showing some perseverance even when the chips are down. Something good to see early in the season.
First pitch, swinging strike. Dalton Stewart, who kind of set the tone of this one back in the first. A leadoff home run that got this offense grooving along. 8 hits today for Shepherd, 4 runs to UNCP's 2 hits and 1 run. And Van Vickle gets a foul off. One-two count, 1 away is again bounced back foul, and the count stays put 1-2 with 1 away. One-two offering, and Dalton Stewart fighting a couple 2-strike pitches off to stay alive. One ball, 2 strikes. With 1 away, and Van Vickle just misses.
Not a bad out pitch by RJ there. We'll see what he comes back with, 2-2.
Count even. And he strikes out Dalton Stewart. 2 away.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Center fielder Jared Carr.
2 outs for Jared Carr. Carr 1 for 4 today. And Van Vickle comes inside. Van Vickel, last year at UVA Wise, played in the MEC, which is the former conference of the Shepherd Rams. This year in the PSAC. That ball driven out to left into foul territory. Hammonds give chase to it, way out of his reach. PSAC, mainly Pennsylvania schools, but a little bit of West Virginia flavor in there as well now. Well hit to left. Hammonds hustles back towards the line, and he couldn't come up with it as Jared Carr has his second hit of the game. It's a double with 2 away in the ninth.
John, we talked about pitchers having that advantage earlier in the season. And the hitter's not seeing too many live pitches over the winter. It's a little bit of a change throwing to just admit to having another batter in the box. A lot of times you got to make some slight adjustments, whether you're facing a right-hander or a left-hander at the plate. A lot of right-handed pitchers will use a batter's elbow, batter's belt as a focal point when they throw their breaking ball. When you put them on the other side of the plate in the left-hander's batter's box, things change up a little bit. So just a little something they need to adjust.
Joey Schwartz to the dish with 2 outs. Braves trying to wrap up this top half of the ninth and head to the bottom of the inning, trailing by 3, but possible insurance run leads off at second. Good news for UNCP, 3, 4, 5 hitters are due up here. So a good part of the lineup to be at. Trying to get some early hits and put some pressure on Shepherd. It's Hammonds, Dixon, and Granger. The 3 to start things off for the Braves in the bottom half of the ninth. 1-0 from Van Vickel. Just above the letters, 2-0.
Just up here. Going to use that ball probably to their advantage and proceed that high fastball with another breaking ball. You starting to see a pattern here, John?
Yeah.
Right back with a fastball.
2-0 foul back, 2-1. And remember a few minutes ago when I said there was some sunlight coming through?
I do.
That's all gone. 2-1 from Van Vickel. Popped foul, and that'll land out of play on the soccer field next door. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs as Van Vickel looks to give his side a shot at the bottom of this inning. Popped up right center, Clemens underneath it. And UNCP will look to score at least 3 runs in the bottom half of the ninth to keep things going or possibly walk it off. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion of today's matchup after this quick break on the UNCP Sports Network.
A nurse at Scotland Health is
a healer, touching patients' lives at every turn.
An ally, working as a trusted teammate with the best doctors. A blower of bubbles, part child whisperer, part kid at heart.
A winner, recognizing excellence through Daisy Awards.
And of course, a caring friend. Scotland Health nurses are many things to many people. But to us, they're simply better by far.
When you've got a house full of unstable football fans who won't take hungry for an answer, drop a Big Bow box on it. Whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, at least they'll gnash their teeth on something delicious. It's bow time.
The town of Pembroke, incorporated in 1895, is a proud community rich in heritage. Pembroke is a quaint but growing town regarded as the social, political, cultural, and commercial center for the Lumbee tribe, the largest American Indian tribe east of the Mississippi River with over 58,000 members. The town hosts a variety of events during the year, none larger than Lumbee Homecoming, which annually brings in over 30,000 visitors. We welcome you to visit our unique town and encourage you to read and learn more about Pembroke.
Last licks for UNCP. Gage Hammonds gets things started. A defensive change. Now at second base, Colton Henson, probably an outfielder at second. And for Easy Guida, as O'Brien remains in there, and his first pitch is a ball. Hammonds pop to right field, towards the wall, looking up, and it's out of here. Gage Hammonds, a solo shot to right field, and don't look now, but there's life in Pembroke. His first dinger as a Brave, carrying out to right field, and it's 4-2 in the bottom of the ninth.
A little bit more life in that dugout, as you said, John. Better late than never. Just slowly tacking away at that score deficit. We'll see if Bobby has anything to say about it. Still sticking with that shift.
First pitch is high to Dixon.
Now that you said it, I am looking at that. Just how big that area is. Just poke a little button there, you know? Just enough to get you a guy on first base.
Even Schwartz at first. That's a little bit of a run for him to cover the bag, too. And Dixon loops it into left. And didn't quite carry enough. Parr under it, one away.
Now batting for UNCP, first baseman Connor Granger.
One down for Connor Granger. So 2 outs for the Braves to make up this 2-run deficit. Of course, 3 runs will win it here for UNCP. Granger 0 for 2. Are you a big rally cap guy at all?
Rally cap? No, we didn't have the rally caps going. We had our own little rituals. Last year, I believe it was Alex Simpson started what they call Club Doug. So I'm sure you'll see as the season goes on, when someone belts a homer earlier in the game, they start chanting. Yeah, baseball players are a little finicky.
That moves to 1-2 on Granger. Just finding ways to have fun, long games.
Yeah, very superstitious.
1-2 count, 1 away as Granger fouls it back.
Yeah. A lot of times in the dugout or in the locker room, you'll see guys tape their wrists with a certain amount of up to their wrist to a certain part of their elbow. It doesn't work, they'll make it longer the next day. If it does work, they'll stick with it until it doesn't. Any little thing to get an advantage.
Granger fouls it away.
Fighting him off.
Whenever I hear stuff like that, it reminds me of, I think it was an ESPN commercial about superstitions with fans. And the punchline at the end is, it's not crazy if it works.
It's not. That's true. I had a teammate, I won't reveal his name, but he told me in high school he didn't wash his sliding shorts until he hit his first home run of the season.
Wow.
A little more disturbing, that one, but.
O'Brien rings up Hunter Granger. And the Braves down to their final out of the ball game. Jarrett Mobley steps in. Infield shifting back to their normal spots. Although Henson at second playing on the outfield grass. So then he got started with a solo homer to right by Gage Hammonds. Big swing by Mobley is fouled for strike one.
Yeah, in this position, John, you know you're not going to tie the ball game up with one big swing. Best strategy here is just get on base, hand the bat off to the next guy. See if you can repeat that process.
A one away, 1-1. River Ryan on deck. And that's into left field. Tying run will come to the plate in River Ryan.
Good adjustment there from Mobley. Nice little hit into the gap there, nestles in for a single. Going to give River a shot to move him over. See if we can't extend this game just a little bit more.
Braves scored one run at the first. They were held off until this ninth inning. Coming into the ninth, had just 2 hits, and they've already had 2 hits in the ninth. So the bats moving along. The shift is on once again. Line to right field, and leaping, nearly falling out of the glove of Holmes in right, but that will wrap things up. Shepherd, 4-2 winners here at Cox Field. And still, the story of this one a little bit different than yesterday. I guess the Braves just kind of couldn't string together consecutive hits.
Yeah, a couple hard hit balls right at guys. Nothing you can really do about that. Shepherd made some good plays in the outfield. Strong pitching performance by both guys. They rolled out there. Yeah, can't win them all, John.
So both teams now sitting at 1-1 as we head into our final game of this opening weekend series. Final score 4-2. Shepherd out hitting the Braves 9 hits to 4, and the Braves with 1 error to Shepherd's 0. The winning pitcher today is Mitchell Wilson. A strong performance, 7 innings on the mound as O'Brien comes in to close out the job. 4-2 the final for all of us here at the UNCP Sports Network. Brandon Hodge at our center field cam. Isaiah Diaz, our camera behind home plate. Jaquel Williams doing a great job today directing today's broadcast. My broadcast partner to my left, Dale Masterson, signing off from Cox Field. I'm John Gross. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. First pitch between UNCP and Shepherd as they wrap up the series. We'll have that broadcast live for you right here on the UNCP Sports Network. Until then, have a great day.